Hi guys, welcome again to MAD. Today we have Ankita with us. So she's secured all near rank 312 in GATE 2020 in computer science branch. I will ask Ankita to kind of introduce herself, basically from where he did his schooling, college, what she was doing, and then what rank did he achieve here.
Okay, so I'm basically from West Bengal. I did BTech from Tier 3 College, Academy of Technology, which is also in West Bengal. I
Mhm.
did BTech in ECE, but I gave CS GATE. So,
Oh,
kind of the reason yeah. So, actually, while I was in BTech, I had no plans of doing MTech at all. I wasn't really that much interested in ECE. So I thought that I will get placed in a service-based company, which most of the students of our college get placed.
mhm.
And then I thought I will pick up skills, I will learn new technologies, brush up my coding, and then I would switch to a product-based company. Like I think most of the people thinks like that. So
Correct.
once I got into the service-based company, I realized the kind of work environment there is. Now,
Mhm.
it might suit some people, but to me, I thought the work wasn't that challenging or the kind of expectations I had. I had a very rosy picture of IT sector,
Mhm.
but it soon got kind of I got it got debunked for me.
Okay.
So I thought that besides I thought of going to product based companies, but then I realized the kind of skills I have is nowhere close to what is required. Like what what happens in most of the BTech colleges, right? See, and I couldn't do competitive coding that well because I didn't even know what dynamic programming is. I
Mhm.
just knew the basics of data structures and algorithms, and I thought that I know a lot because it's kind of we live in a bubble while we are in BTech, right?
Correct.
So I started studying CS subjects to kind of get used to the kind of knowledge my CS batchmates had, and after that I started really liking them.
Mhm.
So basically, thought of giving GATE just because I like studying those subjects.
Okay.
Uh, yeah.
Sure. So maybe let's start from the point. When did you did your graduation? In which year?
I passed out in 2018.
Okay. So after 2018, you joined the company.
Yes, in July.
You worked there for around 1.5 years or something.
I worked there for 20 months. Actually, I left my company the day GATE results came out in March.
Okay. Okay.
So,
So
so
now
it's
you
20.
mentioned interesting point that you did bachelor's in EC, but you gave GATE in
Yes.
CS. So how difficult was it for you to kind of give GATE in CS? If because there would be many people who would be aspiring to give GATE in CS, and also what was your reason to kind of switch this, and why not just give GATE in EC subject itself?
The first reason is I didn't find EC that interesting,
Mhm.
which is why I didn't think of higher studies in BTech.
Mhm.
But I really liked coding all the time. Okay, I wouldn't say that I was absolutely excellent in coding, but I really enjoyed it.
Mhm.
So that was one of the reasons. And as I said, when I started studying CS subjects, I really liked them.
Mhm.
One of the biggest reason of giving it is because I loved studying those subjects.
Mhm.
So it was kind of clear for me, and I wanted to code in my job, like
Mhm.
real coding, doing something that matter, not like the client will give us something and we'll just code it and then it will get rejected and so on. I didn't want to go to
Correct.
that cycle.
Correct. So how hard was it for you to kind of capture and grasp these subjects, not studying these for 4 years?
Actually, see, I almost had to study what was taught in BTech for 4 years in like 1 year.
Oh,
I would say even less than 1 year. And I was doing a job while preparing, so it was hard both ways for me. So
correct.
what I did is I enrolled in a coaching of Ravindra Babu Ravula. It is an online coaching,
Mhm.
and one of the biggest thing that he does is he starts every subject from the very basic.
Mhm.
So even if somebody is just has just passed out plus 12, one will be able to understand the CS subject.
Mhm.
And one more thing is, I think CS is very intuitive. If you
Mhm.
have common sense, you can you can go a long way. So that really helped. But yes, it took me a long time to finish the syllabus, and even after that, even after studying as much as I did during semester exams in every weekend, I used to study while going to office. Actually, my office is very far away from my home, and I used to commute for 4 hours every day. Two
Mhm.
hours while going and 2 hours while coming back. So
Mhm.
even after studying while commuting, even after doing all this, I couldn't complete my syllabus till the end. I had to leave out some parts of a very important subject called computer organization.
Mhm.
Organization, but I picked it up after I joined IIT Kanpur.
Okay, so you are saying that you were doing job, then your stream was also changed, and then you were doing coaching also, and then you were commuting also 4 hours per day.
Yes.
Okay, so how difficult was it to manage all of these things, and how much time did you took, like from the start of preparation, when did you start preparing until the end of exam? Was it, how much time span was it?
I started in 2018 December. I started learning a little bit about the CS subjects. I used to watch YouTube videos, so that because there are lots of resources available for it, I used to watch those videos and I used to pick up concepts CS subjects so that they didn't feel foreign to me.
Mhm.
From April 2019, I took Ravindra Babu Ravula's coaching, and in every weekend I used to give like 8 hours to my studies. And if I found out that if I give 8 hours to behind my studies, I could actually do a focused, completely concentrated study of 6 to 7 hours, because rest of the time used to go away in taking small breaks or maybe organizing what I have to study. So I used to give 6 to 7 hours, completely focused hours in every day during the weekend or in any holiday I got. And I could never complete my target, whatever I had. So I used to have to continue studying from where I left off in the weekdays. One thing I did is I used to study while I commuted to and from office. I used to go via train. If I got a seat, I used to sit and study. If I didn't get a train, I used to stand and study, because that was the only thing that I had in my mind. I had to do it some way or the other. So
Mhm.
that's how and sometimes even after coming back, I used to study a little bit if I got time, if I wasn't too exhausted. And it kind of happened that the time I spent in office was the time I used to give some break to my brain, because thankfully my work pressure wasn't too much.
Mhm.
And thankfully they let me out after 8 hours, which is a big advantage that I got.
Mhm.
So the only thing is that I never felt like giving up. I always felt like I will have to do this because I've got no alternative at all. I used to
Correct.
think that if I somehow crack gate with a good score, it will kind of all my problems will be solved.
Correct. So you mentioned that you studied 6 to 7 hours on weekends, and then on weekdays you studied during your commuting hours. Apart from that, what was the general scenario that you got like 1 2 hours more after coming back to office, after coming back to home and from the office? So did you study like 2 3 hours also every day?
No, I didn't get so much time, because after coming back home, I used to study maximum 1 hour, because by the time I got back home, it was after 8, and I had to sleep early because I would have to wake up early next day again. While going to office, I could almost 1 hour. It didn't touch 1 hour any day.
Mhm.
And after coming back home, 40 minutes to 1 hour, so you can say 1.5 to 2 hours every day. But 2 hours was extremely rare.
Okay, understood. Now, what were the computer science books that you referred?
Okay, so here is it. I didn't study any standard book. I didn't have time, because I was completely new to the subject, and I didn't get so much time because of my work. So what I did is I used to watch all those videos, and whenever I got stuck at any point, everybody will. It's obvious. I used to search for that topic in the internet, and there are a lot of resources which are present there. And what happened is, suppose I search for something, I get something interesting, and maybe I get a thread of something else, which is again a lot more interesting. So this kind of helped me strengthen my concepts whenever I got stuck, and it helped me learn things which are beyond my GATE syllabus. And
Correct.
especially in case of data structures and algorithms, it helps a lot studying this way.
Correct. And you mentioned a lot of time about the videos that you were watching. So what was there a certain platform from where you were watching some particular website, some particular coaching institute, or it was kind of a random mix of everything?
I took Ravindra Babu Ravula's coaching, so those are the videos that I watched. I watched almost every single one of them, and
Mhm.
apart from that, I used to take help of Gate Overflow. These two sites are extremely important for any
Sorry,
CSK
can you repeat the
aspirant.
second? There was an internet issue. So you mentioned Ravindra Babu Rao's coaching, and the second one was?
Gate Overflow and Geeks for Geeks.
Okay, okay. So these were the three things, right? And then
Yeah,
to the
mainly these three.
correct, mainly these three things. And to the books you mentioned, there was no standard books that you referred.
No.
Maybe most of them was on the internet or the videos. Apart from that, you must be having some reference books at least, right?
actually, what I did is I used to, if say I got stuck somewhere, I used to search for it. If it gave me a link to a reference book, I would download it and I would just
Ah,
see the part which I require. But what happened is that all the places that I'm telling, even in Geeks for Geeks or in Gate Overflow or Ravindra Babu Ravula's coaching or the YouTube tutorials that I saw, they all actually taught from a standard textbook only, right? So
correct.
what the content? I'm already getting the content of the standard textbook. Just I'm not reading it directly.
So this actually this might be very strange for some people that she didn't had any textbook as such, and it was all with the use of technology, right? Okay, that's interesting. Correct.
Internet
So,
is a great thing.
correct. So now you have enrolled into IIT Kanpur. Any particular reason of choosing IIT Kanpur? Which all institutes you wanted to apply, or which all institutes you wanted to go? Anything on that?
See, IIT Kanpur is the first IIT that had introduced a computer science department, and
Mhm.
I have heard from many places that it has got the best computer science department in the entire country in terms of academics as well as in terms of research. Though I'm not very much research focused right now, but
Mhm.
still, I've heard that it's really good in academics. So these are some of the reasons for choosing IIT Kanpur.
Correct. Okay. Now, if some other guys there, like for example, you took this online coaching videos. So for you, definitely it was helpful. You didn't had to go through the study material books as such. But what would you recommend? Like, is it mandatory if someone is kind of switching a branch, he has limited amount of time, so he should be going to some already defined books or materials from these coaching, or he should study by himself from the standard books? So what is your perception on this?
I think if one is not taking a year drop, it's very difficult to study from standard textbooks when you are not from CS background, because
Mhm.
you have to learn everything from scratch. You won't get so much time. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I don't think I would be able to do it at all. If you are from CS background, then obviously yeah, you have already studied them right for 4 years, so you can do it. Or maybe if you're taking job, you have got a lot of time. But with a job, or if you're doing BTech in some other stream, I don't think it's very easy.
Correct. And did you get time for extracurriculars then, like for last 1 year it was fully packed, or you were kind of having times for yourself doing activities extracurricular?
I got very less time. I didn't even take the free subscription of Netflix that they were giving away. No subscription at all. I didn't watch anything. I didn't start any series because I knew that would take up time. The
Correct.
only leisure time I had, I used to go out in restaurants and eat sometimes
Correct.
because we have to sometimes take a break. And I used to talk to my family, my friends. I used to chat with them. That's all. Nothing else.
Correct. So what is now your future plan? Like, do you want to go to higher studies, even like PhDs, or after that you want to look for jobs in good companies?
Right now, I'm looking forward to placements. Actually, when I got in, I was completely placement focused. But after talking to seniors and after talking to batchmates, now my perception has changed completely. And I'm trying to learn as much as I can.
Mhm.
But yeah, after MTech, I definitely do want to go for placements. But later on, yeah, I have plans to do PhD.
Okay, that's fairly interesting. So, what would be your recommendation for the guys who are preparing for GATE CS? What topics they should be focusing more on?
I think the first and foremost thing that they should study, the most important part, and I think everybody will agree with me, is data structures, algorithms, and programming with C.
Mhm.
No, it has got a lot of weightage and it is scoring, and it's very very important for placements.
Mhm.
So it's a number one thing that one should do. After that, I think based on their interest, they should pick up subjects which they think are scoring, and they would be able to solve problems faster. So like this computer organization is a subject which actually has a lot of weightage, but I couldn't develop an intuitive understanding of it, so I left it out, and didn't even complete the syllabus by the end. Then there are subjects like TOC, database, then digital. It has got less weightage, but it's actually very scoring, all of these subjects. So I think it's better if they have got less time. It's better to go for scoring subjects which are easy, and obviously they must like the subject. Yeah.
Mhm. Correct. And how about the previous year question papers of computer science? Did you solve that? If yes, for how much years? No.
Yes, yes, I solved all of them. I think it's very very important to solve the previous year gate questions. After I completed the subject, I used to solve those gate questions. And at first, I think a lot of people are stuck at this because I myself had. I couldn't solve them. Even after watching the videos, I couldn't solve all of the problems. And I thought that something was wrong with me. But I later find out that a lot of people experience this because we are not the curriculum that we have in college, we are not really taught to think the way the gate questions come. Maybe at first we will have to take help from the solution part, but later on we will be able to solve it on our own. It's just developing the intuition, I think.
Correct. Now, what about the notes? Did you prepare notes for last minute
Yes,
study? Yeah.
yes,
And
yes.
how was that strategy
I
of making notes?
I prepared very detailed notes so that I didn't have to rewatch the video once more.
Mhm.
What two reasons behind this is, number one, I think if one reads from their handwritten notes, then it will be much faster to revise it than watching a video or by reading somebody else's note. And the second reason is when I watch, suppose I'm watching a video, I'm understanding the concept. I think if I write it in details, the concepts that I've learned becomes it strengthens itself a lot. Not only the concept gets strengthened, if say while writing, sometimes I would find out that okay, I didn't get this part. Maybe while watching the video, I didn't think of it, but while writing, sometimes I used to get doubts. So I could work on those areas in which I had doubts. So I think writing one's own notes is very important.
Correct. And what was your strategy in the examination center? What was your strategy for writing the paper? Like you started with the objective questions with less marks and then
Uh,
move over to other ones. If you didn't find anything, you just skipped it. Yeah, what was the strategy?
I started from the very beginning. I saw the first aptitude question. Though now I think it's very easy. Back then I thought that I got confused and I jumped straight to the technical part.
Mhm.
Though I didn't have that in mind. I solved all the technical questions at first. Whenever I got stuck anywhere, I skipped it. And I moved to the next one. And after completing the entire question paper, after going one round, after I completed everything that I could in the first round, I then went back to the problems in which I got stuck in the first time. And
So,
one thing I would like to mention here is that I gave a lot of mocks because of which in the D day I didn't feel that stressed because I got used to it because I got used to it. So
correct.
I think that's a very important point. I think giving a lot of marks really helps. Yeah, there are many people. There are even people in my batch who gave less marks, but it helped me a lot.
Correct. And how much time did you spend when you get stuck? Like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
Uh, See, that depended on the question. See, if I got a question which I knew it was from my area of strength, and maybe I thought that I would be able to solve it if I give it a little more time. At that time, I didn't skip. But if say I got a question which was not from my area of strength, maybe I'm already weak in that area. So maybe after trying 1 minute, I would leave it and I would go to the next question.
Correct. So, and how much time did you cover the full paper? And how much time was left for your coming back and going again?
Uh, I took a lot of time to cover that first round. In fact, that is one of the reasons for which in spite of giving so many marks, finally I lost track of time. I didn't think that my time was getting completed, and then at the end, I had to hurry a little bit. So that was one of the biggest mistake I made in GATE exam.
Correct, correct, correct. Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. I have not taken any interview where someone changed the branch and studied everything online with videos, no books as such. So this would be, I think, a little bit motivating also for the guys who would be preparing. Thanks, Ankita. Thank you very much for your time. Anything else that you would like to tell to the guys now who are in this situation, maybe in third year or fourth year, and they're preparing for CS? What would be your kind of last comments from the topper?
I would like to say that don't rush to yeah, you will have to complete the syllabus, but don't get stuck in a subject or in a particular topic because you remember that you have to complete the entire syllabus. You don't have to do PhD in one subject. I heard this a lot while preparing. I think that really helps. But at the same time, don't skip over concepts. Try to strengthen them because what happens is if we keep on solving questions without strengthening our concepts, we won't improve. At the same time, finding the balance is important. And one more thing is, if you are giving marks, do remember to analyze them. Just giving marks will not improve your score.
Correct. Yeah, I think yeah, all those are valid points. So I think Ankita, yeah, that's all what I had to ask you, and thank you for sharing your success journey with us. So guys, please feel free to share the video, and if you have not subscribed, You can subscribe later also, no issue. But yeah, please feel free to share so that someone else who is preparing might get inspired and might get motivated. So thank you, Ankita. Thank you very much for staying with us. Thanks.